Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the exclusive webinar session about empowering future-ready educators in conjunction with Free Week at Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, University Technology, Malaysia. Hi, I am Ana Hazika, your moderator for today, and I am a senior lecturer from School of Human Resource Development and Psychology. To start this event, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Zaidatun Tasir, Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, to give her welcoming speech. Welcome, Prof.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Hi Dr. Ana, and of course together with us, those who actually watch us at YouTube and Facebook, welcome to our webinar. This webinar, for all of your information, this webinar we conduct it together during our Future Ready Educator Weeks. So this week is actually a study week for UTM students, but we have what we call it a Future Ready Educators Week. The short form is FREE, which actually this morning we have our roundtable session from 4 groups at the faculty that implement future-ready teaching and learning methods like problem-based learning. We have project-based learning, we have service learning and active learning. So during these Future Ready Educator Weeks also, we also have competitions, the video competitions that will be announced at the end of our webinar later on. Who's going to be the winner? Of course, my friends there from the faculty are waiting with patience who's going to be a winner for our video competitions. So now we have our sessions, the webinar session regarding the topics of inequalities of opportunity from the perspective of future-ready educators will be shared by our former Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic and Internationalization, Professor IRTS, Dr. Zainuddin Bin Abd Manan. So I still remember the initiative about future-ready educators has been started at UTM since another former Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic, Prof. Alinda alias. At that moment, we actually embarked into Future Ready Educator Initiative and we try to look into what kinds of innovative teaching and learning methods that we should focus among UTM lecturers for UTM students. And then we work towards it, and then we coined the words future ready educators for UTM staff. And then during Prof Zain as a Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic, he actually embarked into the initiative of future ready educators, where we have been set up a group at the faculty as a group leader and subgroup leader that focusing on selective teaching and learning methods that focusing on student-centered learning. And at the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, we focus on 4 innovative teaching and learning methods, which I mentioned it as problem-based learning, project-based learning, service learning, and active learning. So today, this afternoon, we have a session with our former Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic. Those, I believe, together as a Dean of the faculty. Before this, I was the Dean at the School of Creative Study. I still remember during our LPU retreat, we actually explore new initiative related to teaching and learning, and some new words has been emerged for UTM like micro-credentials, stackable degree, PRISM, and there are so many new initiatives related to teaching and learning at UTM. And this is when Deputy Vice-Chancellor, our former Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic, Prof Zain, the ones who actually initiated so many initiatives related to future-ready educators. And I did discuss with him also this future-ready educators initiative is a never-ending story. Because if we're going to wait for our future, I believe the future is now. And every day we learn new things, and especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, of course, everybody has to be ready to be a future-ready educators for us to produce what we call it a future-ready graduates. So with that, I welcome again Prof Zain as our speaker for this afternoon session. And thank you very much, Prof Zain, for your time. And I hope those who join us in Facebook please allocate about 1 or 2 hours to hear what going to be shared by Prof Zain, and there are so many new things I think, and of course some of the refresh info that we have it at UTM. So to all the staff at the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, this week is a study week. I believe it's a time for us to focus on the developments of ourselves, and today afternoon session is I think the right topic that we should focus, including me myself. I don't have meeting this afternoon, so I think this is the right time for me also to focus on what will be shared by our former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Prof Zainuddin Bin Abd Manan. So with that, without further ado, I actually end my opening speech with wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof, for your speech. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will present to you our amazing speaker who is Yang Berbahagia for Professor in Senior Technologies Dr. Zainuddin Bin Abd Manan, the former Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic and International University Technology Malaysia. So Prof is the key person of future ready educators in University Technology Malaysia, and Prof will share with us a talk entitled Inequality of Opportunity from the Perspective of Future Ready Educators. He also will bring us an insight to understand the inequality of opportunity, and not only that, he will also bring us the mission of FREE to democratizing education by bridging the gap in inequality of opportunity. In addition, he will also share about how we, as the future ready educator, perceive and provide the inclusive access to quality education in this rapid changing world today. And just a reminder, if you have any question along this session, you are pleased to post your comment on our Facebook comment, and we will have the Q&A session with Prof soon. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite, and we are excited to bring it to you, Professor in Senior Technologies, Dr. Zainuddin Bin Abd Manan, to give his talk. All right, Prof, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me, Dr. Anna?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, can you all hear me? I like to
Yes,
test the
we
mic
can
first.
hear you.
Okay. All right, it's clear. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahil Karim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi, and a very good afternoon to everybody, especially to Dr. Anna Hazika, who is the chairing this session today, and to the Dean of Faculty of Social Science and Humanity, Professor Dr. Zaidatun, and the management of faculty, as well as staff of faculty and all staff of UTM, as well as students who are watching this event today. Thank you very much for inviting me. I would like to express my gratitude for your giving me the opportunity to share one or two things that I have experienced, and maybe work together with the faculties and with UTM staff in advancing and democratizing education. We'll talk about what it means by democratizing education. The topic that was provided to me to talk about today is inequality of opportunity, which is a big topic actually, and it is a very interesting and very vital topic in these days and age when we are facing crisis of COVID-19, and many disruptions are taking place. So the inequality of opportunity from the perspective of future ready educators, I would like to put in terms of call for action. As you can see from the first slides of my presentation today, it is a mission. Yeah? The call to action is for a mission for future ready educators to democratize education. I'll talk about democratizing education, what it means by the mission to democratize education. And it actually fulfills the UTM Prospering Lives tagline and the KPT strategic focus area of number 4, driving community prosperity. To begin with the content of my presentation, if you have any question that is urgent, Dr. Hazika, please feel free to interrupt me because I wouldn't be able to see the audience and to see you in front of my screen here. So I will talk about what it means by democratizing education, giving an analogy to democratizing, especially e-commerce, the dream of Malaysia, the dream of UTM, and the reality that we are facing now. And I will also talk about higher education, the crisis that is being faced by higher education, and what I call as a burning platform, yeah, the looming threats. There are 5 altogether that I will cover, and I will talk about the critical issues that we have to face in front of us, and the SDG mission to democratize education, the fundamental, the blue ocean shift. I'll also talk about the vitality of setting a blue ocean shift for every institution that want to move forward and to change the world, the fundamentals, and the 7C attributes of future-ready educators. I call it 7C, attributes of future-ready educators. And finally, I will summarize with some key takeaways. This is a fitting analogy that I found. At first, I was going to take democratizing air travel, but this is not the right time for us to talk about air travel. So I think what is more fitting is e-commerce. Yeah? E-commerce has been democratized such that now, even many years ago, at least 3 to 4 years ago, or more than that, e-commerce has been democratized, and now that anyone can sell anything. And one of the most predominant things that we are buying and selling these days is actually food, through Grab Food, Food Panda, and so on. So e-commerce has been widely, globally democratized, and that now you're not talking about those who have a brand that can sell things, but also those who have access to internet, those who have access to mobile phone would be able to sell whatever it is that they would like to offer to the community. So anyone with a credit card, with an idea, and build e-commerce business using low-cost global suppliers. So now that anyone can sell anything, we, of course, one of the most important thing that we can actually, from our perspective of future-ready educators, can provide access to people across the world, whether it's with a cost or for free, is actually education. One of the most important thing about democratizing education and democratizing any commercial things is partnership. You will see here that Google is actually a gigantic entity, and it partners even with Shopify. Shopify is not a small entity in itself. So it just signifies the importance of having partnership between 2 different entities that complements one another. You see? So in democratizing, in making sure that everyone can have access to education, one of the most important things for us to think about is to synergize, to work together with other entities that may have things that we cannot offer. They can offer, but we cannot offer. So this is the mission, to democratize. Instead of e-commerce, it is education. So SDG 4, ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all is about democratizing education. We know, everybody knows, everybody is aware that SDG 4 has been crafted many years ago, more than 10 years ago, I believe. And at that time, it was just at the beginning. Democratizing education through online learning was just at its beginning, a different advancement from many different regions. So SDG 4 is about democratizing education from whatever perspective you have, whether it's online or through transnational education or through partnership. It is about ensuring inclusive access and providing education, so that people can afford to learn and have opportunities to learn from wherever they are without any discrimination. So in the context of Malaysia, the vision beginning in 2015, If we remember as well from the National Higher Education Blueprint, uh, Malaysia aims or aspires to be an international education hub and targeted 250,000 international students by 2025. Yeah, this is talking about inbound students into Malaysia. But by 2020, yeah, during 2015, we achieved about 100,000. That was the baseline international students. But by 2020, we only achieved about 130,000 international students, about 30% rise for about a period of 5 years. But remember, we are targeting 250K. And when COVID-19 came along, yeah, disrupted lives and livelihood, in 2021, there was an 80% drop in international student and a drop of about RM 7 billion in income for the nation. So what does it mean to us? So COVID-19, when it strikes, yeah, it impacted seriously higher education such that we need to build resilience, yeah, or crisis-proof higher education through means that is not just dependent upon, yeah, incoming or inbound students on physical campus. So basically, there are many things that has developed and things has been disrupted significantly over the years, over just a period of 18 months during the COVID crisis, that we need to really go back to the drawing board and rethink our strategy about having inbound student of 250K through physical face-to-face, yeah, learning. So now let's see what I call as the burning platform of higher education and the 5 critical threats that we are facing that we must address and we must overcome. We must not brush aside. We have to confront it face to face. Yeah. For example, people have been talking about this even prior to COVID-19. People have their own envision. UTM might have its envision 2025, but even before the COVID-19, this envision 2025 has been spelled out by the likes of Vision Lakiani, who is a founder on Mind Valley, and this, yeah, basically notion of anyone anywhere in the world will be able to get the same advantages of Harvard degree for just a very affordable cost, much more affordable. It's like a B40 cost, yeah, of $500 a year. You're imagining a Harvard degree from anywhere in the world. They're saying that college degree is not at all needed. In fact, they're basically saying that college is actually a dirty racket. Dirty racket means we charge students exorbitantly, maybe not we in UTM, but worldwide, especially in the Western countries, in the US, people are charging, yeah, an unbelievable fee for college degree, yeah, but that college degree can actually be obtained, yeah, from anywhere by anyone across the world, yeah, in under $500 a year, they said. I think you might have heard about this even before the COVID-19, and it has been when MOOCs came along, even in 2010, yeah, people are spreading knowledge, basically sharing their knowledge through massive open online courses for free. Yeah, of course, there are some downsides of having MOOCs for free and being disciplined about studying on your own. But basically, knowledge has been accessible to everybody. Yeah, basically. And if we are reluctant or resistant to change, then we may be wiped out of existence. So the threats to higher education is real. Number one, the threat is actually the rising costs. So we talk about you should be able to get a high quality college degree for a very affordable cost. So the rising cost is the one that catalyzes the democratizing, the need to democratize education. There is one other thing apart from rising costs, the skills gap. Yeah, it has been said that many universities is not producing the skills that industry needed. So the skills gap is actually turning people off from many higher education institutions. Because when you especially at a situation where we are facing now. There is an overflow of graduates, yeah, and very small demand, yeah, small demand of skills that is needed for the industry. Then basically we are facing a situation where the graduates have difficulties in getting a job because the industry are being very, very selective, and they think that basically what the university are producing is not something that they need. When Vishen Laksani and the likes of him and Coursera came along, for example, causing the digital disruption and starting or initiating the digital disruption, it also gives a threat, yeah, a massive threat to higher education that religiously depend on inbound students and face-to-face fixed campus. Okay, so we should rethink about our strategy of having international students or solely depending upon international students that come from abroad and studying to our country. Even now, we are facing the fact that, yeah, we are grappling with the fact that some are in denial, grappling with the fact that our international students, yeah, many universities are basically grumbling, especially the private institution, are not coming to Malaysia. There is about 49%, yeah, of the private institution especially is operating at a loss, for example, because of the significant reduction of international students. This is caused by COVID-19 as well as the digital disruption. So then in 2020, as I've mentioned before, COVID-19 strikes, and that result in massive losses of jobs across the world. Half of the global workforce, yeah, risk losing their jobs within the last year and this year. Yeah, you're talking about 1.6 billion people lose their jobs, and graduates has not been spared as well. Yeah, even at a time when we are trying to employ, yeah, still trying to find place for about 46,000 graduates in 2019, we are faced with COVID-19, and altogether, the number has doubled to 121,000 graduates struggling to find a job due to COVID-19 pandemic disruption. Okay, as a result, yeah, COVID-19 is the third, yeah, force that has combined together to disrupt lives and widen the inequality. Yeah, if you look at the issues of inequality during COVID-19, you will find out that as COVID-19 strike, as the digital disruption, yeah, overwhelm us, basically we face many people face more inequality. Maybe the government servant might not experience this, might not really feel this disruption, but people who are dependent upon their livelihood is dependent upon businesses and small to medium scale businesses, whether it's hotel businesses, transportation businesses, or retail businesses, all are being significantly disrupted. Yeah, and that has caused more, yeah, inequality of opportunity for people. Yeah. So basically, as a result of this inequality of opportunity and lives being disrupted, livelihoods, yeah, being affected seriously, yeah, people start to go to a job, yeah, and then to reskill themselves. If in the past we go to college or we go to get a degree, yeah, before we get a job, yeah, we go to college first and then get a job after we finish the college. But now the majority or significantly more people, yeah, goes to a job first and study while they are working. Why? Because they have no option but to support themselves. You imagine 1.6 billion people, or half of the workforce of the global population, is being disgruntled, being laid off. They have to survive. If they have to survive, it means that they have to grab any job, even if it means food delivery. Yeah, doing food delivery with a degree, or you being a manager of an aviation company, you have to deliver food. If that means that You have to do it because you have to survive, to earn a living and to feed your children and your family. Then you have got to do it. At the same time, you have got to reskill, or you have to got to go to college where you are working, when you are working. So this is another one of the biggest disruption we are facing. Yeah, so we have to rethink about our strategy. It affects our strategy. Is the inequality is being widened. It affects our strategy to democratize or to give equality to education. So clinging to rigid or conventional program structure is the next biggest threat. Why? Because if people are working while they are studying, people are working while they're studying, they cannot afford to have to go to classroom physically. They cannot afford to wait until 4 years before they get to the skill to be able to employ themselves, before they gather the needed skill that they need to be employed, to be gainfully employed or better employed. So we cannot be clinging, or we cannot insist on a rigid 4-year structure, for all our curriculum. We have to start to build in flexibility in our curriculum, and we have to come to terms and not be in denial that the conventional program structure are just too long for people who are suffering and who have to go to a job and have to work and learn based on demand, based on their availability of time. It's been said that modern education is like being taken to a restaurant, which is the world's greatest restaurant with a brand, a great brand, but being forced to eat a rigid type of menu, not a flexible menu. You cannot customize, you cannot, but it is a restaurant, it is a university that is supposedly have a brand. But unfortunately, it also gives you the same type of menu that other universities are giving, or the restaurant, for in that matter, in this context, there's other restaurant is giving, except that you have a posh environment, posh atmosphere. So basically, this is not something that we have to uh, stick to. We should not be trapped on this kind of situation. So we have to build in resilience. To build resilience, we have to build flexibility instead of rigidity in our program. This is threat number 4 to higher education if we are not careful. And threat number 5 is in our indulgence, our being trapped in the red bloody ocean, being insistent in giving the same type of menu that other people are giving. Same offering without any differentiation. Other people are doing basically are offering the same types of programs that we are offering, albeit a very slightly different in terms of the permutation and the structure and the content, but generally they are same types of offering without any differentiation whatsoever. So this is one of the biggest threat to higher education if you dream of democratizing education. So basically this is threat number 5 to higher education that we must stay away from. We have to find some value proposition that will differentiate us from other education providers. So higher education, with that 5 threats, I think that is enough to put us on a burning platform. Means there is an urgency, a extreme urgency for us to jump from this burning platform, or otherwise, we will be wiped out of extinction. And really, by 2025, we will not be needed at all if we refuse to change. Okay. What is the biggest threat of all? The biggest threat is college business as usual, or higher education running their business as usual. Let me try to summarize. The top 5 business as usual threatening higher education existence, or threatening to put colleges, to wipe out colleges out of existence, is first of all the skills gap and rising higher education cost. College is not producing what industry is requesting, industry needs. And then the digital disruption courses shrinking, traditional face-to-face students significantly shrinking and ever increasing, and COVID-19 causing widespread graduate unemployment, leading to graduates having to go to a job first before they get a degree, and they have to go for bite-sized type of education. Not they are quite hungry, but they cannot swallow one big horse. A 4-year program is that one big horse. So you have to build in flexibility and bite-sized program inside that is where we come into micro-credential inside our education system. Number 4 is the rigid university degree that takes too long. I did mention this, and the silo structure. If Google can partner with Shopify, a smaller entity compared to the giant, massive Google, then we cannot be too big or too small to partner with other entities. Synergy is actually the core or the central to the success of an institution. So silo structure is costly, and silo structure is the one that curbs growth and innovation. You cannot innovate by pushing the boundary of your own discipline. If you want to have breakthrough innovation, you have to have a fusion between two different disciplines and try to work together along a new horizon. So skills gap. In a nutshell, digital disruption and COVID-19 has widened the inequality divide and causing the rise of working students who go to job while they learn on demand at their own pace wherever they are. And then that pushes the traditional college degree to the brink of extinction. So we must be smart enough, we must be agile enough, we must be resilient enough to build flexibility in our education system, to embrace the change that is coming our way, or else we will be changed and wiped out of extinction. So what is the mission? Who will take this mission forward to democratize education? Who among us will shape this revolution? We cannot look left and right. We cannot look above and below. It is actually ourselves. We are the free, future-ready educators. We must be. We have no option. And our mission is to democratize education by overcoming the 5 threats that I did mention to you earlier. So what are the fundamentals? I think, make no mistake, I've been very consistent about this. If you want to change the world, there is a recipe that I have shared during the Amanat Tahun Baharu 2021, and I have not flinched from, I have not actually hesitated about telling everyone everywhere about this 5 great things, 5 big things to change the world. The high 5 of changing the world. And I did give a formula of JBJ Soul Kitchen franchise because this one is easy to remember, is closest to our heart, it's real, and it has actually changed the world. From one person who is not in the business of a franchise restaurant, he did change the world and bridge inequality for the homeless and for disadvantaged students. He began with a great purpose. In our case, is a purpose to democratize education, but in his case, it is actually the purpose to feed the poor and to bridge the gap in inequality for the poor people in the street and the poor students. So he has a very noble purpose. We do have a noble purpose as well that can stand the test of time, just like the JBJ formula. So what is the impact that we are trying to create? We are trying to educate people. We are going to widen access to quality education to people across the world. And then what would be the model that we want to take, or the recipe? If you have a great impact to make, what would be your recipe? What would be the uniqueness of your recipe compared to other people? If you have a recipe, the next thing you want to do is to train the great chef. or the future-ready educators in our context. We cannot be too dependent upon just a few people on a fixed location. We have to develop the apps that can allow people to get access to food. In the case of JBJ, to get access. Now we have Grab Food, yeah, Food Panda, and so many other types of app mushrooming, so that we can efficiently deliver our product and crisis-proof our system. And we have to also, the fifth things, continuously improve, because if we don't, we are going to again being wiped out of competition. We have to rely upon the data analytics, how to improve. How is our business doing? What is the customers want? We have to have detailed analytics about the wants and what the wishes of the customers, the wishes of client, basically the trends of the business, yeah, from time to time. So we have to continuously improve by having detailed data that we can analyze, that can take us to the next level. So these are the 5 things. You need to have the great purpose, and from that you have to build a recipe that have some differentiation, that have a niche. And with the recipe, you need a great chef. Yeah, the great chef, and you cannot be dependent upon people. You have to have efficient delivery system, and you have to continuously improve. And that is the fundamental formula to me to bridge inequality gap and for you to be allowed to change the world. So, if we have the formula, what is the next thing to do? We need to rise above we need to rise above our comfort zone of giving the same old offerings to our customers. People get bored. We get bored of eating the same thing every day. And we get bored of having the same menu every day. So what is our differentiation? What are the things that differentiate us from from others that are of value? So basically, this threat we must actually strive to overcome. It's not an easy way. Yeah, it will not be easy for us to find our callings. It will not be easy for us to identify what are the things that made us great. Yeah, as compared to many other institutions, the greatest basically in the region, perhaps in Asia or across the world. So we cannot be dependent upon the same offerings without any differentiation. By the same offering, I give you an example. Yeah, University Benchmark for Excellence is an example of a very important benchmark of excellence, but actually we are swimming in the red ocean. That is the reason why when people tell me, when I ask people, yeah, what are the things that they think that they are proud of in terms of the offerings of their higher institution or their university, they say to us, it is collaboration with industry. Then I will say, okay, who doesn't do that? It is our great researchers. Who doesn't have the great researchers? It is our great superb citation, high citation. Okay, people across the world are increasing their citation every day. If we compare ourselves to many other RUs, 5 RUs, for example, why are we keeping on being at number 5? It is because others are not sleeping. Yeah, you can be at number 4 or number 3, yeah, when everybody else's are sleeping. But if everybody else's are at least walking, you can be guaranteed to be at number 5 all the time. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I mean, these are tools, very important tools for us to measure excellence, but they cannot be the blue ocean shift of a university. Yeah, they are the red ocean. We are striving to actually try to overcome academic reputation, trying to be more reputable than other people. Yeah, by using the metrics that they also use, have collaboration with industry. This is very, very important. But what are your offerings such that you can leapfrog your collaboration with industries, citations, and so on? I will dwell about this. So basically, this academic and employer reputation basically are actually a red ocean benchmark of excellence. Competition is important, yeah, but they are actually expensive because they are battle to slightly outdo others. Sometimes you think that you have to lower down your fee because other people are also lowering down their fee. Then all of a sudden we see that one of the public universities have fees lower than us. Then we keep on lowering our fee until we are at the losing end. Yeah, we cannot meet our cost per student, yeah, the basic cost per student, for example. So if you strive to the bottom of the cost, yeah, rock bottom cost price, then you are not going to go anywhere. It is going to be very expensive, and you are not going to win. Basically, you are not going to be winning. Yeah, well, in fact, you are going to be losing in terms of your in your business. So what you need to do is something completely novel. You have to establish authority or niche and set your own terms. Yeah, and then you can monopolize the space in which you create value. So do something completely or significantly different at least. The thing is, you should not be competing, but you should be creating your own niche. Yeah, basically, to be sustainable, you have to find. Yeah, if you look hard enough, if you search, yeah, you search very carefully, then you will be able to project the things that makes you very yellow across a blue, yeah, sets of clones. So that makes you very different and very distinctive, yeah, in a crowd. So what makes you a leader? Yeah, what are you leading in? In which area is your authority? Does your authority lies? So what we need to do is to find our niche, to find our differentiation, make the competition irrelevant, and it is possible. Yeah, once you have an offering that so many people across the region, across the nation, or across the world wants, you will be very popular. You will be very popular. You will be the talk of the town. You will be prominent. Your products, your programs will be highly sought after. When you are highly sought after, automatically you will be favorable from the perspective of other higher education institution and from the perspective of employers, because you are offering something that other people are not offering. Automatically you will be your favorite institutions from the perspective of academic institution, higher institution, as well as from industry. And guess what? How will they vote people that they think, yeah, are prominent in the region? They will vote them as, yeah, most popular in certain area that are great at. What does that mean? That means that you are going to rise organically in the ranking. Yeah. So boss example, yeah, blue ocean shift example. This is just one example that I think about the discipline that I am at now. Yeah, you can also think about example of Faculty of Social Science and Education, Faculty of Social Science and Humanity. Yeah, I don't think it's hard because you have many great things that you made, and in fact, 2 or 3 years back, you were ranked as #1 in THE in social science as well as education. If you look closely enough, what makes you rise that high, then you will be able to discover or find. Example, yeah? Let me take an example of UTM Engineering Education. This is something that you can also work towards, yeah? Blue Ocean Shift. UTM is Asia's leader in democratizing engineering education. Okay, I say this so many times. Yes, Professor, I've been very consistent in many of my presentation. I've never hesitated to say the same thing. So I believe strongly that it is true. Yeah, as far as engineering education is concerned, for engineers, they should be promoting this. Why? People will ask, why do you say that? Do you have any evidence for saying that? I will say the 7 wonders at least. of UTM Engineering Education for Sustainable Development. Wonder number one. You can say the same thing. You can seek this. The reason I'm doing this is because for you to try to craft the same storyboard for your faculty, be it you are faculty of social science or whatever. Number seven. At number seven, you're looking at, this is rank number 7. Yeah, there are 6 more great things. Is the pioneer in engineering service learning Malaysia. You can also associate yourself, if you are social science, you can associate yourself with this. Okay, pioneer in service learning. Don't put engineering word there, but in service learning of in Malaysia. Number 6, it is the leader. I'm just picking the not so easy to dispute things. Yeah? Global leader in Japanese-oriented engineering education outside Japan. If it's not Japan, it is MJIIT. Even the Japanese say, okay, this is not disputable, Prof. Yeah, I have spoken to a few Japanese, senior Japanese professors. This is not something we dispute, Prof. Okay, leader in Japanese, global leader in Japanese-oriented engineering education outside Japan. That's number 6. Number 5 is ASEAN leader in professional and continuing engineering education, UTM space, which is not disputable if NTU, Nanyang Technological University, which is number 4 engineering in the world, has set up their PACE professional and continuing education in 2014. UTM space is far ahead, being set up, or space being set up in 1993. Number 4, UTM Engineering Synergy 4.0 is faculties, one of Asia's largest faculty. Some says that it is world's biggest engineering faculty. That is not correct. The world's biggest engineering faculty at 1,800 staff is actually Nanyang Technological University. The world's second biggest is Imperial College of London. Yeah, Nanyang is ranked number 1 in Asia in engineering. He has the world's biggest engineering faculty. Imperial is ranked world's number 6 in the world. It has 1,200 staff. UTM only 767. Yeah. Number 3 is actually National University of Singapore and at 900 something staff, yeah, faculties, members, and they are actually ranked number 10 in the world. So if UTM is 4th largest, UTM may not be the 4th largest because we have not talked about colleges, engineering colleges in China yet, which is massive. Yeah, if UTM at least in the top 10 largest faculties in the world, so it is a myth to say UTM is the largest engineering faculty in the world. That is not based on fact. But UTM, even though it's large, comparable to NTU and US, which is in the top 10 in the world in engineering, but why are we in number 104 in terms of ranking? If ranking is something to be measured, something we have to go by. It is because we are still stuck with our culture of before synergy. Even though we have the design, we have synergy by design, we need the synergy by culture so that we can be hand in hand. We need to improve continuously, definitely. We need to improve our design, we need to improve our ways, but we must not run away from the need for us to synergize. Is global top 40, at least best engineering faculties in the world, in the US World News Ranking, that is based on 87.5% is based on the metrics of research, and 12.5% on reputation, because QS World University Ranking is at least 50% based on reputation. Reputation means that you are sometimes clinging to the universities, for example, Universiti Malaya, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, that has a reputation as a comprehensive university. When we rate some university based on their reputation, we sometimes are biased towards the comprehensive university. We don't remember whether they are engineering or non-engineering. We just based on what we remember. So we rank the university, or we just associate ourselves with, for example, a university that has existed longer. But if you use the objective metrics, the metrics of the scientific achievement, the metrics of how many citation, how many research grant that you are getting, how many internationalization that you are making, then basically these are more objective metrics. Number two, yeah, we will not be awarded winner of Okayama, for example. Prof Fatin, I think, might be watching Global Engineering Education Award if we do not have something significant, something unique to offer. And winner of IFES Global Engineering Education Global Award, if we have not made something significant or contributed something worthwhile to the world. And now in 2021, it leads Malaysia TNL Research Excellence Consortium under the KPA Consortium Kecermangan Pendidikan. So we know that if you want to dispute, you have to go one by one of the 7 wonders of UTM Engineering Education and tell us that this is not correct. So we can find this niche ourselves. Now, after we have identified the fundamentals, the blue ocean shift, the differentiation, let's go for us, the people itself, the 7 C attributes of future-ready educators for us to wrap up, to be able to democratize education in a significant way and change the world. The 7 C attributes of the chef, so I call them the chef who cook, who craft, who basically curate the innovative recipe. So the 7 C free attributes, I will go through one by one with the time I have left. Number 1 is actually core value driven. This is one of the most significant, so I have put it at number 1. Number 2, they have to be critical. To be critical means you will be also naturally creative, and do not listen to people to say that you are crazy. Maybe you are crazy, but you are when you hear people say something that you're doing is crazy against the mainstream, it means that you are doing something very, very different, very bold, and very innovative. But maybe not doesn't apply all the time. Don't go very, very crazy. You have to also be competent digitally competent. This is the bread and butter of the 21st century democratizing education that you cannot do without. And then you have to continuously learn and improve CQI and contribute so that you have your product being immortalized, continuously contribute. You have to also be caring and compassionate. You have to be community minded, and above all, you see that the first 4 or 5 is actually individual traits. The first is actually something of organizational traits. The next 4 is individual traits. The last 2 is actually the community and the global traits, collaborative and connector of the dots. Let's go to the first 3. Core value driven, critical, creative, crazy or innovative, competent digitally. This is the future ready talents or the chef that we are actually crafting, we are actually training, and we are actually training ourselves to be. There will be the social entrepreneurial. Dr. Zaini always said that social academia or social entrepreneurial academia that can rise above any challenges. They are resilient, they are agile. Okay. That is the reason why we so laboriously take the pains of establishing people at faculty, and from then we set up together with the previous TNC the future ready educators programs. Because during COVID-19 we have, fortunately, during COVID-19 we have been transformed. It enables us to transform our delivery and crisis-proof our delivery approach to fully online, digital, and 4IR driven, and enable us to almost instantly, without any hesitation, embark upon 100% full online learning on 1st April 2020, when everybody else are actually grappling to decide whether or not to go online and when to go online. So we have also set up, this is the UTM decision, it's not one single person decision, together set up UTM Synergy 4.0. Yeah? If there's some, basically, many of the faculties have achieved their success stories on Synergy 4.0, especially FSSH, Synergize, yeah, well in their environment or ecosystem of Synergy 4.0. We have also aspired or endeavored to set up the Center for Digital and Flexible Education, and this has been, the groundwork for this has been started in 2019. We have actually established programs like PRISM and PACAT and micro-credential program that transform our delivery into flexible and collaborative. Very important, collaborative. PACAT means program academic, trans-faculty. Trans-faculty means collaborative program that we struggle to basically change the culture, but slowly we are achieving, through SIDU, we are achieving success through PRISM as well as PACAT. And there is also JK, Jawatan Kuasa Recruitment. So basically, if you ask me, if Malaysia can reach 250,000 foreign students by 2025, okay, not if we rely on only face-to-face inbound student at fixed campuses. We know the results already. From 2015 to 2020, we only achieved 30% rise. We thought we wanted to achieve 200,000, but we managed to only achieve 130,000. And with COVID-19, the drop is astronomical. The drop is about 80% drop in international students. If we were thinking about relying on face-to-face and inbound students at fixed campuses, yeah, basically we are not going to make it. But how about targeting 2.5 million subscribers to our learning on demand modules by 2025, yeah, subscribers. Many of our programs, if we really sharply focus our attention on developing the best module, especially FSSH, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, there are so many students taking common courses. Yeah, I don't see any reason why not we spread, through collaborative initiative with our network across the world. We spread basically the modules that we develop through our conduits, through our ambassadors, which are our alumni, that are present in more than 75 countries. If within FSSH itself, you only have about 20 to 30 countries, but who says that? Who says that you cannot outreach our alumni from other disciplines because they are also taking common courses? This is not a myth. This is something that is real. 100,000 student classroom that we also know. I'm talking to the experts here in front of me from FSSH, and you know it well. I know it well that basically 100,000 student classroom is not something that is a myth or a fantasy. It's been done, and this, if you go through this particular YouTube, it is very exciting on how they actually democratize education to people across the world with the most exciting and most engaging types of approach that they did at Stanford. If we were to do it with our students in a 40 students per class, we need about 250 years at the current pace for 100,000 students. So when I talk about 2.5 million subscribers to our education program by 2025, it is something that might be achievable if we sharply focus our attention to develop this type of modules. So basically, core value driven, creative, critical, and crazy, doing something innovative, something different, competent digitally, and continuously learn, improve, and contribute. We must also continuously learn. We know that basically programs like initiative like Synergy 4.0, as compared to, for example, research university, will take a research university when we want to leapfrog, or we want to change from 28% of people publishing to 30% or 35% people publishing. We might take 10 years. And until now, we might have reached that, but it takes us 10 years to do so. We must continuously learn. We must continuously improve. We must continuously contribute. We must be sharply focused to what the university has decided few years ago, to embark upon the initiative that has been approved by the Senate, approved by the university, approved by the Lembaga Pengarah University. It's not a one-man decision to do that. Basically, we must be sharply focused. If we were to turn back from what has been decided by the university and not continuously try to improve, we might be at the losing end. The story of 7-Up is the one that can actually give us some inspiration, where one person who has invented about the soft drinks, he stopped at 6-Up. When he stopped at 6-Up, along the line, along the way, somebody else captured his recipe and he created the 7-Up. But the person who struggled from the very beginning takes many years to develop the recipe for the soft drink, just stopped at 6-Up. Almost there to make it big. And somebody along the line came along. If you Google the story of 7-Up, you will know. Basically, that guy capitalized on the fact that this guy gave up, and he captured and he invented 7-Up, and he became filthy rich at that time. So you need to continuously learn, be sharply focused. Whatever the institution have decided together as an entity can be improved. Can be we can have our learning curve or learning path must be improved, and we must also contribute. But we must not abandon ship when it is something that is proven to be useful by other entities, for example, in UTM. So the next thing that we need to look into is to continuously improve. As I've mentioned to you, the fourth attributes is actually improved through data-driven means. Once you be digitally competent, a digitally competent person can leverage on data-driven analytics and data-driven culture. We have done that basically to achieve the data-driven culture through many initiatives. For example, graduate employability, business analytics, subject matter expert, Viva management system which is now data-driven. Customer relations management by Stripe, which is also data-driven. The SHARPS initiative, strategic human resource for research and education planning, and research and academic planning. SIDU has also did some program analytics, and BTSA as well as CAI, continuous amal improvement. So these are the data-driven analytics. In education, data-driven analytics can be the game changer to personalize learning that is sought after across the world. Let me try to inspire us by
Sorry, Prof. We cannot hear the sound for the video. Mungkin maybe you need to stop sharing and then tick share with audio when you share the slide. You are mute now, Prof.
so.
Yeah.
Can I share now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Share with audio,
so
Prof.
yeah.
we still cannot hear the audio for the video. I think you need to stop sharing first, and then you need to share again with audio, because you need to tick a very small button when you share the video.
Stop sharing. Okay.
And then share again, and then you need to click a very small button to share with audio.
And then I share again, yeah?
Yes.
Share screen. Share audio as well. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Audio. Are you able to see now? Not yet.
Okay, technical team, Dr. Nina, maybe you can share after you see what Prof Zin shared.
Let me. I think I can do it. Stop sharing first, and then I try to share again. Share screen. Share audio, and then window, and then share.
Okay. Okay, now we.
Is that better?
Yeah, now we can hear it.
So you can turn the study of human learning from the hypothesis-driven mode to the data-driven mode, a transformation that, for example, has revolutionized biology. You can use these data to understand fundamental questions like what are good learning strategies that are effective versus ones that are not. And in the context of particular courses, you can ask questions like what are some of the misconceptions that are more common and how do we help students fix them? So here's an example of that, also from Andrew's machine learning class. This is a distribution of wrong answers to one of Andrew's assignments. The answers happen to be pairs of numbers, so you can draw them on this two-dimensional plot. Each of the little crosses that you see is a different wrong answer. The big cross at the top left is where 2,000 students gave the exact same wrong answer. Now, if 2 students in a class of 100 give the same wrong answer, you would never notice. But when 2,000 students give the same wrong answer, it's kind of hard to miss. So Andrew and his students went in, looked at some of those assignments, understood the root cause of the misconception, and then they produced a targeted error message that would be provided to every student whose answer fell into that bucket, which means that students.
Okay. So you will share back your slides, right?
Yep. I'll share back.
All right. Now we can see a slide.
Yep. Hang on.
Okay.
So
Right.
that's the thing. I'm not the best. I'm not the best in terms of online learning, but I find through my own experiences, the data-driven learning analytics is vital for us to understand students' way of learning. The thing is, when, for example, we give some simple quizzes questions. We give them quizzes question flip style before they start their learning, and we look at the patterns of how they answer the quizzes questions. Is something along the line of what Daphne Kohler was trying to emphasize to us. And we see that the very particular question, the 2 out of 10 questions that the majority of people get wrong. get wrong. The majority of the students out of 30 students class get wrong. Then we would know this is the examples that we are going to give our particular attention on, yeah, as compared to the other 8 questions out of 10. So basically, you know, it is not enough for us to get feedbacks from our regular physical face-to-face interactions when 2 students out of 30 students raise their hands and say that they understand. When you ask, you put prompt a question and 2 students raise their hand all the time, then you say that you are good at teaching. But the other 28 students is actually are at a loss. The 2 students happens to be, for example, they have taken the class before, they know basically what the answer is going to be, and the lecturers were asking the same question. So these are the data-driven learning analytics that is vital for us to understand, yeah, every single students, how they perform, and to personalize, on our way to personalized learning. So analytics on student learning, even who has done what, who has been idling, who has not been focused on their attention on this, on the lessons, and selectively pick topics to clarify the understanding. So these are the things that we have actually experienced, yeah, from even the layman like myself. It also triggers thinking, giving students opportunity to personalize their learning at their own pace. Yeah, when we give them, yeah, bite-sized type of modules for them to go interactively through H5P approach. I think there are many experts here of using H5P. That you are also teaching many of us new, beginners. Basically, the H5P approach that will walk us through every bite-sized type of concept and try to trigger our thinking into understanding that concept first before you move on to the next, the next steps of module. So this kind of personalized learning, not the same pace for everybody. Some will just breeze through. The smarter 5% of the class may breeze through, all the question very, very quickly, but some may need more time to think about it and to understand the concept before they go into class. And that flip style type of learning, and you trying to capture who has done what in the class, who has gone through all the modules that you have administered to them. These are vital for us to get everybody understand that concept they are trying to communicate. These are the real life democratizing quality education to our students. So data driven is not just about learning in class, it's also about how we analyze graduate employability. This is something that I am proud to share, where our Institute for Life Ready Graduates has endeavored to pave the way for UTM. So analisa keboleh pasaran graduan, analysis of graduate employability, we have gone through basically very deep analytics to the level of supervisors, who are the supervisors, who are the academic advisors, and the academic advisor will be able to trace where the students are, how much salary they are getting, which company they are working with, at which part of the world they are at now, by us tracing 100% of our student and get the analytics of each one of them. So this is something that we have done, the power business analytics for student graduate employability, that is really, really data driven to drive life readiness in our graduates. So basically, now for the first time since 2020 and 2021 session, we are able to have the detailed analytics of our students. If they are not employed yet, what do they need? What kind of skills they need? What is their preference? So these are the things that we now know, and how to help them, where they are, what position they are, which part of the world they are now. So at the Institute for Life Ready Graduate, we have built a culture of being caring and compassionate, so that students, we can actually trace our student, 100% of them, know what they need and how to help them until they are not just being employed, but gainfully employed. They are happy with their employment. And we keep on engaging them, 100% of them, so that no one is left behind wherever they are in the world. and to ensure that they are gainfully employed, each single one of our students. That is the reason why I keep on hounding, maybe the deans as well as the TDPPA was at having some difficulties and tracing their students, but we insisted on 100% tracing of our students. Why? Because we cannot afford to leave one behind. When we want to democratize education, imagine if you leave somebody behind in Nigeria and lo and behold, that person become the president of the university or president even of the country that you have left behind. What big loss we have to the community and to UTM community and to Malaysia community if that person is not connected to us. So we must have this caring and compassionate culture built and community-minded and create the cycle of prospering life. You see, if I were the students and UTM keep coming to me to help me with anything that I need so that they raise me to be gainfully employed, yeah, even without UTM coming back to me asking me to help them, I will do my all to help UTM. I will come back to UTM and to help UTM students. If UTM students want placement at my company, if UTM students wants endowment, yeah, if I can help by endowment, even if I have little, not to mention, imagine if I have a lot, then everyone will be contributing to UTM and create a cycle of prospering life. Yeah, this is how we can be community-minded and create this cycle of prospering, caring, and compassionate. So basically, the future-ready educators and future-ready talents is, yeah, basically also caring and compassionate people, the people who cares about the customer and go extra miles. If you go extra miles, then you will have an unsurpassed or unparalleled reputation that other peoples might not have, and you'll be rest assured that the impact will be so far-reaching and so permanent that people will just come to UTM. This is what we aspire and endeavor to build in UTM Institute for Life Ready Graduate. First, we make them ready for life. Yeah, not just being employed or employability. We make them ready for life. When they are ready for life, they are ready for the livelihood, to be gainfully employed. Okay. When we are ready for life, they have the community-mindedness. They have the respect for other people. They have the culture of ISES that we built in UTM. They are T-shaped graduate. They are not just great in their major. They are also great in the communication with people. They are great in the relation with people. They are great in the relations with community. So they are H-shaped. They may have more than one hard skills, but they have also the needed soft skills. So basically, finally, the attributes that might be one of the most important as a game-changing the culture of the free future-ready educators is collaborative and connector of the dots. Remember, in the beginning, I said that even Google expands their partnership with a much smaller entity like Shopify as a part of the mission to democratize e-commerce. Remember also that breakthrough innovations does not come by you pushing the boundary of your own discipline. You can push, but you are only going to progress incrementally. But if you if you have a fusion of collaboration, for example, social sciences and engineering, have a program that will be one-of-a-kind program in the region that is useful and can be democratized across the region, then basically you have made a breakthrough innovation. That cannot happen just by you pushing the boundary of your own discipline. So basically, this is something that you can leverage upon. Thank you very much, FSSH, for preparing this. This is the network. This is the global network of FSSH, because if we want to democratize education, we know that basically perhaps at least 50% or 60% of the global population does not have decent access to internet. Then what do? we need to have our partner, for example, in Africa, to be our conduit, to be our agent for transnational education. We work with them so that they can use our recipe, and we validate the program, and they can access people in their country to actually democratize the recipe that we have crafted for them. So it's the same thing that you can do for all other your basically your ambassadors across the world. And it's not only your ambassadors, the alumni of FSSH that you can leverage upon. You can also leverage upon the alumni of UTM across 75 countries. There are many of them. Altogether, we have about 200,000 alumni, and at least 30% of them are international students. So basically, you need to craft the recipe. The recipe that you need to craft is actually through collaboration with, especially through quadruple helix collaboration. This is the reason why we go through extra miles to establish the JK, Jawatankuasa, or the Committee of Micro-Credentials. We went extra miles to set up PRISM because we want to give UTM the unfair advantage as compared to others. Maybe it is crawling, it takes slowly, even though it is so obvious for educators that PRISM is actually the game changer, or PAKAT is also a game changer. Program kerjasama antara fakulti kan is a game changer. TNE is also a game changer. FLA and C is also a game changer. Then, but we are struggling. But you as educators, you as the administrators of the faculty must drive on resiliently, try to build this culture with the people without any going through all the obstacles. So this type of program, for example, the collaboration of through a micro-credential has actually seen some great success story. For example, collaboration of SKA with CIDB is something that I'm proud about, very proud about. That is one of a kind. You go across Malaysia or across the region for an institution that partners with a massive entity like CIDB and to create micro-credential program. In the end, CIDB awarded them 100,000 ringgit to develop this micro-credential for them, for CIDB, of course, to develop the micro-credential program for CIDB. And these are the people, our tribute to them for resiliently trying to manage and finally achieve the success story, to MyCRES initiative. So what else do you want? You work and collaboratively with people, and then we get the brand, and they pay you to develop this micro-credential. Of course, it will be parked at CIDB, but what does it mean to us? It means to us that our program at SKA can receive horizontal credit transfer or even vertical credit transfer. They said it's horizontal credit transfer because it's a master level program from CIDB. It will sell our master program maybe 10 times better than before collaboration with CIDB, even though that module is being parked at CIDB. Means that we got 100,000 to develop the modules, and we got the co-branding and the possibility of having modules in our master's program being articulated from CIDB programs. And many of the CIDB, you imagine thousands and thousands of CIDB engineers that work with CIDB, if they want to go through a path of master program and learning bite size, who will they choose? They choose other institution that doesn't give them credit transfer. Of course, they will choose UTM because that's the only institution that can give them horizontal credit transfer, many horizontal credit transfer. We have done that before also in Master Energy Management Program, okay, where we receive certification, the honor to certify graduates as registered electrical energy manager, not just giving them master degree, but also registered electrical energy manager. Even almost 6 or 7 years ago, we have started this. And this, because of this, the courses, because we had to go through the refinement after refinement. In the beginning, for first 3 years, we only get about, the status of program sakit, sick program, 5 or 6 graduate, only 5 or 6 graduate. Now, do you know how many students is enrolled in this program? Close to 60 master. Ya, pesisir lebih kurang 35, apa ni, the UTM itself is about 25. So basically this is actually that program is actually booming because of this, and 100% graduate gets a job after they graduated. So again, I'm emphasizing that breakthrough innovation comes from synergy. And the most recent one that I do, that I initiated, is actually this program, synergizing people from best practices and innovation. This program is the first of its kind in ASEAN, where I chair this program. We created something. We dream about this type of innovative convention that brings together quadruple helix stakeholders, where only 20% of the participants, about 300 people, are from academic institution, and the other 80% are from policymakers and users. We usually have convention where 80% are academician, but this one is the program that I chair, where 80% are the rest of the world. So UTM is the lead institution. Participate by virtue of us assigning them as one of the speakers, and 80% from industry. So the key take-home message from here, we need to strive to create a shift in the blue ocean, make our competition irrelevant, and at the same time, we can be globally prominent. Believe it, believe me. What I said before, with the examples I gave, I think you trust actually the spin-off from the initiative that we did. For example, energy management for innovation and best practices. And we become the stakeholders driven learning and teaching curriculum. We develop our own curriculum that partners with stakeholders. We do lifelong learning, professional certification at the same time with our partnership. We provide quality education as well as referred publications for people with the major stakeholders is out there, working people nowadays. And the synergistic collaboration in teaching and learning, R&D and commercialization will be the driver to change us and will be referred to by industry. When we are referred to by industry, it is a metric in the QS World Ranking. We referred to by the academia. It is also one major metrics in the QS Global Ranking. And from that, we also get the income from the cost savings, income from our revenue generation that we work together to develop the micro-credential program, and focus on this fundamental leads to excellence and will lead to organic rise in the ranking. So don't chase the ranking, chase the blue ocean shift, and you become the benchmark of excellence. For example, in engineering, 2021 achievement, because of the focus on the focus on the fundamentals, I think that makes us basically organically rise in the ranking. So the free mission is about how we can ensure quality education for all. We have to confront the threats that comes before us. There are 5 looming threats. Those 5 threats are meant to make us stronger, not weaker. Don't be afraid. We have to confront them face to face and have to overcome them. So find the opportunities. There are many opportunities in the adversity. For example, the transform delivery. We did not hesitate. We thank God, Alhamdulillah, we did not hesitate to be the first to go fully online and become the first to learn from our challenges, to address the challenges first and to innovate from that challenges. So in every adversity, in every threat, there are opportunities. We don't want to compete. Try our all. Do our best not to compete, but to create niche. high five fundamentals, the impact, the innovative recipe, the chef, the delivery approach that is effective and efficient, the continuous learning cycle is the fundamentals for us to change the world. And Blue Ocean Shift plus High Five and 7C, yeah, will give global prominence to prosper life. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I've not taken too much time. I think, if there are still some time for question and answer, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof, for the talks. I can see that the keywords in your talk is actually flexibles, as we as the educator actually need to be more flexible by changing our teaching approach, as well as our mindset and strategy. So now we will go to the question and answer session. So if anyone have questions, so please post in our Facebook comment. So while waiting for the question from our participants, so I would like to actually ask you some question, Prof.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Silakan.
okay, so according to your vast experience in academics and you are as a leader that actually plays the roles in changing mindset among academicians, and I believe this is not an easy task. So all of us know that actually having the correct mindset is a very fundamental in making any changes. So can you share how you lead university into have changing mindset, especially when you are actually introducing something new?
Yeah. This is a big question, Dr. Hazika, Dr. Anna Hazika. You have planned the question. I have little planning, but I think among the things that I have touched during my presentation a moment ago is those that you can draw some lessons, actually, on how we change mindset to make sure that people actually embark upon very ambitious change, sometimes like, for example, Synergy 4.0 or even Prism, Pakat, and so on. Yeah, it is actually to build the pure purpose in everything, in every, first is actually to build the noble purpose in every single massive change that you are trying to make. Yeah, and that first is to build the purpose and then to communicate this purpose across, but don't fail to communicate. Yeah, so you have to build a pure purpose that is in line or aligned with the institutional, core values as well as institutional vision and mission. This purpose has to be embedded in that and has to be communicated clearly. When people know and realize there's a big purpose in all the things that all the changes and transformation that we are trying to make, and when we communicated them without fail, widely to everybody, that is the start of people trying to rationalize and trying to come on board and get buy-in. Even then you have to repeat repetitively trying to make that purpose across. And technology has a role in this, because for example, when you do the video, make frequently asked questions and put these frequently asked questions online, in short, embark upon a campaign of information. There are many campaigns of misinformation that goes against you, but you have to be resilient in terms of making the campaign of information widespread as possible, in terms of making the purpose, the pure purpose, or the noble purpose as widespread as possible, in making this culture widespread as possible. So I think those are the things that we need to, without fail, try to embed in the people in the transformation program, every transformation program that we make.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. So I can see that the key is actually communication, right? So we have one question from Nubiha Ichiku. So the question is, I was wondering what would be the most craziest changes you did in your many years of service in the universities? So I believe that the word crazy is actually popular just now.
Yeah, well, yeah. the word crazy, the second C kan, the second C is about being competent and be continuously learn and being crazy as well lah. Yeah, being critical, being creative, and being crazy. Critical, creative, and crazy. And so basically, Norbia, I think not putting me on. I think it's an honest question. So basically, what would be the? It has to be. It has to be Synergy 4.0 because it's a massive transformation program. And you know, if you had to do that 80 times of 80 sessions of engagement with the community of UTM, and that is even not enough. 80 sessions of engagement, as we have recorded it, at least 80 sessions of engagement. And on top of that, we made video, we made all the online engagement sessions, and we made the online FAQ session, fact sheet and information so that people can access. We still think there is not enough communication that we have done. People still think that this is not what UTM needs, but maybe we have forgotten that every single decision that we have made, we made with Shura of UTM, with Shura of all the way to the level of the senators, all the way to the level of Jawatan Kuasa Pengurusan University, all the way to the level of Lembaga Pengarah University. So basically, this might be one of the craziest thing that I might have done, apart from other crazy things, like, for example, envisioning Cradle, for example, envisioning Institute for Life-Ready Graduates. People say, why life-ready graduates? Now people are talking about making people ready for life first before livelihood. Ready for life first before livelihood ni kan dia graduate employability kan. Livelihood is graduate employability. But people say, get people to be ready for life first, so that they can be ready to address any type of changes, any type of challenges. It means that you have to make people life ready first before they get the livelihood. Yeah. So that they can on their own, get the livelihood. So life readiness is not the buzzword, but if you there are many universities start to use life ready graduates now, but we are the only institutes in the world to have this life ready graduate. So basically, oh sure, thank you Biha saja. Maybe I was the one to pick you up. So at least dua kan. Lepas tu the Cradle Institute, and then Institute for Life Ready Graduates. I think that I'm fortunate. I consider myself very fortunate to be amongst the inspiration myself. The talents that we have there, when you motivate them, they will be like perpetual machine. We don't force people. Forcing people is the worst thing that you can do, to do something that they don't want to do, they don't like. But if you align whatever you do with your likes, with their passion, and with what they associate them that with what they need in life, what they like to do in life, how they would like to contribute to society, then you will have an unstoppable. You better get out of the way, because these people are going to be unstoppable. This is the only thing you need to do, to have put the catalyst in them. Macam tu lah saya ingat kan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So we have another question from Mangai Solomon Mahanan, I think. Okay, so could you highlight a few confronting threats that we must face headlong to achieve the desired shift? Prof?
Yeah.
Prof, you are breaking.
You're okay? You can hear me? I think I was disconnected a moment ago. Do you hear me?
Okay, now
still?
I can hear you. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I highlighted the threats, the 5 threats that we are facing as we are speaking now. The 5 threats that we are facing as educators. This threat is not wanting to change. One of the things is not wanting to change, not wanting to write on the digital disruption. This is also a very big threat, not wanting to write on, not wanting to leverage. Sometimes when we resist things, it takes a lot longer than we just say, okay, why not we just learn? It takes a lot shorter time to us to learn on how to use H5P, for example. It takes a lot shorter time than you to agonize, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to, grade the graduate because there's so many students and I have to develop my own online learning modules, YouTube, to make it asynchronously. Every single modules I have to make. It sometimes take a lot shorter time for you to just do it
Just
as compared to you agonizing. And I did not know how to do it and this and that. Just learn. You see, if you want the students to be the best learners, you have to personify that first. Okay, so this is the thing. If you are an educators, yeah, just do it. Many things are being learned the flip way. You have to learn on your own rather than people wait for people to teach you. You have to learn on your own. The best thing to do is to learn by doing, right? So this is one of the things. Just embrace the one of the things, the digital disruption. And when I talk about microcredits, this is the real thing. You have to develop the microcredit, and we have embedded. UTM Lead has embedded in the program of developing microcredit perks for the developer. Dr. Nobiha is the brilliant person who has got this formula that will be benefiting all the educators, 70 or 75%, of the revenue, for that you get as a developer of the micro credential will go to you. Only 25% or less will go to UTM. So if that is not a motivation yet, I don't know what is. Because for as long as you have the micro credential modules, you don't have to teach. They will be there asynchronously for people to learn. You will get revenue passively. So what else do you want? Of course, you have to develop them. You have to spend a lot more time. The first time you develop them, you have to spend more time. But as you have developed them, you will just be watching, or you will just be tweaking and improving until they are perfected. Those are the things that you need to do.
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
I totally agree with you. And we also can have teams to develop the micro credential
Yes.
courses together.
Yeah.
So it will lessen the burden, I think.
Uh-huh. So I think that FSSH is the best faculty to lead the way in this, not SKA and CIDB, for example, because SKA, they do not have the capability, the expertise like you do, but they develop for CIDB, and you know what? Surprise, surprise, CIDB pay them 100,000 consultancy fee to develop the module for them, to develop the module for CIDB, and use the module for credit transfer. This is not UTM module. Ini CIDB punya module. If you're talking about UTM module part kat CIDB, then it's something different lah. Then we say it's not the best of deals. But they are asking you to develop their modules, put on their online system, and pay you to do it. I think, consultancy projects, FSSH is the one that can be, many of the lecturers can be very rich if you focus on developing modules for other people. At the same time, UTM can gain the benefit because that modules can be articulated to UTM programs. Kan kita boleh guna CIDB module tu sebagai modul dalam kita punya master program kan.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
saya tak tahu apakah dia yang menyebabkan itu bukan satu insentif lah.
Yes. Okay, Prof. I think we have another question from Dr. Hanita from Language Academy, I believe. So, Prof, we have a roundtable session this morning. Yes, we do have this free week. So we have this roundtable session this morning, and it seems our lecturers are ready to adopt technology into teaching. But the issue was students are not ready for the changes. So students don't have the facilities and have a difficulty with the internet connection. How best can we actually help these unfortunate students?
Yeah, I did mention about collaborative projects. I did mention. I realized that this is one of the challenges. I did give an example because of this realization. I did give an example of our students, for example, in Nigeria, maybe Nigeria in some places they are okay, but other places may not be so okay. Even in Indonesia, even in Malaysia. So when we have our transnational education program, even the local transnational education program, one of the models that we did for exam is actually to work with our partner institutions closer to the students, yeah? Partner institution. The simple example is when we want to do online exam, we try to pick partner institution in the area of Sabah, for example. Then we go to space. If space has partner over there, because space partners bawah UTM space, there are many types. One is actually the franchise program. The other one is the smart partner program, where it is not a degree type of program, it's just for professional program. You know what? Surprise, surprise, all these partners are actually almost, I can exaggerate, dying to get UTM favor actually. Dying to get UTM favor. Why? Because they want to be in the good books of UTM. If you ask them to help UTM, I think 10 of them will be running to help UTM. These partners, there are many partners, literally in the thousands. If we put together professional punya partners dengan franchise punya partners, tak masuk lagi UA punya partners, not included UA punya partners. So these partners are actually the ones that are close to us, and where students can use that as learning centers, kan? Learning centers where they come close to their house and to use the facilities over there, the internet. The only limit we have is actually our mindset. Our barrier is mindset. Why? Because if we don't talk to them, like I did mobilize this COPE-BEST program, Convention on Promotion of Energy Sustainability, I go across and trace partner from Indonesia because they Asia. I try to think about who was our alumni in our professional course that we have. It happened to be, I was fortunate, maybe because I looked hard enough, and I found one alumni who is now the director in the Ministry of Energy in Indonesia. You imagine if that is an alumni who work with us, close to us, if you are a supervisor for one student, they will be running to help you. If you are a supervisor of your student, PhD student, literally, I'm not exaggerating, they will be running to help you. Running, how do you know they're running? Because the moment my WhatsApp left me, in a few seconds they replied. It is like running to help you. It is on a Saturday, you see. So basically, I thought, wow, this is what the alumni can do for you. This is what partnership can do for you. And they are doing it for free for this particular program. They outreach people across the ASEAN region. This partnership is the power that we can leverage on. I speak passionately because I believe in it, and I've done it. I've worked around this, so use your partner to help our students across the world. When we go extra miles to help our student, it will be worthwhile. Believe me, it will be worthwhile. We have many barriers. Kita tak tahu kita many barriers. Some of the barriers when I say here may not be practicable pun. Unless we try, then we cannot guarantee they are not practicable. We cannot say now they are not practicable unless we try and go through all the nitty-gritty things to find a way, to change things. When you change your student's life, then you just fold your hand like that, kan? They will come to help you later. Sometimes,
Yes.
sometimes from somewhere in the world that you don't know. Kan? When you go extra mile to help your students, you don't know where they are going to become satu hari nanti. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Prof. Yeah, so the keyword is partnership. So we gain help from this partnership and also alumni. So I think we have last question from our dean actually, Professor Zaidatun Tasir. So Prof Zain, I still remember we visit together last year, embarking into 100% online learning at UTM due to the pandemic. So can you share with us the challenges that we face from the perspective of top administration at that time?
Thank you, Prof. Zaida. Also, one big question. Um, during the Amanat, I will share with you the slide again. We share top 10 challenges, and I did put a slide there. All that glitters is not gold. If you remember that, sometimes I use keywords that people can remember kan. 7C lah, high five lah. Tapi remember high five tapi tak remember content pun tak guna juga. So top 10 challenges that we made, among the first thing that the biggest challenge that we have to make a decision is actually to decide on the 1st April. Saya rasa saya tak tidur malam nak jawab. I have many sleepless nights to respond to people. You think I was doing okay, just smiling, and from the end of Sarawak, I stayed stayed there 3 months, doing meeting with the same langsir behind me. Orang tahu saya, kalau nampak langsir tu dia tahu saya kat Sarawak lah, basically. The same langsir. But even though I appear all the time in the meetings and everything, but we had sleepless night trying to decide, 1 April. Why is it UTM has to be the first? Why is it the UTM has to be the first to make life difficult for their people by putting 1st April? University lain, other university 100% online. When you want to throw everything else and you just want to embark upon online, you don't even have a module online and everything, to go 100% online, it's just simply unthinkable for many lecturers lah, actually. Again, UIA, they compare with UIA. Why is it UIA can decide, can decide 27 April, UIA can decide 1 June? That kind of question we have to brave it out. And during the time that I was jogging, I was writing the article that trying to inform people of UTM why we made this decision, why we made this decision in the interest of our community across the world. And what was the cushion that we put in there? What was the assistance that we give to lecturers? That 4 weeks barrier, tak pernah orang ada buat lagi 4 weeks barrier tu, tambah daripada 18 minggu jadi 22 minggu untuk they learn by doing. They learn, they studying, overcome the obstacle when they studying. Bila kita buat macam tu, universiti lain pun kata, alamak, kenapa kami tak buat macam tu? Dia tanya dalam personally lah. No, why? Because they could have done that. They could have, kalau kita letak 27 April, which is 4 weeks, orang takkan buat apa until 27 April ataupun nanti bulan Mei. But if you put a barrier, a buffer of people can do the learning part, can shift their learning with the students 4 weeks, try to learn with UTM lead, online learning courses sebagainya, and try to manage their family and everything while they actually start doing, because they have the urgency to do it when the semester start 1 April. Otherwise they will squander the 4 weeks kan. Nanti they wasted the 4 weeks. So they try to do it instantly. In the case of UIA, they started in 1st June and they cram everything. You see, they started, they were waiting for face-to-face in 1st June. But the face-to-face never came. Face-to-face never came. They had to do online still. So they had to learn from June while people go on vacation for, 2 months. So itulah, but that's crazy thing lah, tetapi in the end sometimes being crazy helps.
Yes, I agree with you, Prof. And actually, my brother and sisters actually they are actually quite jealous with UTM because we are started the online learning early from their university actually. So I think that is quite successful for UTM to start first online learning. Okay. So I think, thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. And I think this is a very good discussion and input for all educators, where we actually need to become more flexible to our learning. So thank you so much, Prof.
Okay. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for having me today.
All right. All right. Thank you, Prof. So now I think we will move to the next part of this event, okay, which is some sharing about future ready educator at FSSH. So this sharing is by our Deputy Dean of Research, Innovation, Development and Alumni, which is Associate Professor Dr. Mohd Fauzi bin Abu. So I would like to invite Dr. Fauzi. Welcome, Doctor. So I will pass the session to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nazika. So can start now? Share my...
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I'll share my slide. Okay. Okay, right. Can you see my slide?
Now we can see it.
Okay. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala sayyidina Muhammad. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Hazika, as a moderator for the 2 days sessions. And welcome everyone to these sessions, an exclusive webinar in conjunction with Future Ready Educators Week at FSSH. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. IRTS Dr. Zainuddin Abd Manan, our distinguished speaker for this exclusive webinar, who has enlightened us a very, very interesting topic on inequality of opportunity from the perspective of future ready educators. I think it was very, very eye-opening sessions, and I learned a lot from the talk, and very, very impressive sharing, and it's actually give us some insights how could it be a good, well-prepared future radio educators. Our respected Dean of FSSH, Professor Dr. Zaidatun Tasir, and all management teams of FSSH, chairs of school and academy in FSSH, all professors, lecturers, and students, or perhaps all educators outside UTMs who are following us, joining us in Facebook and YouTube. Alhamdulillah, we managed to kick off our Future Radio Educators Week. Although some of our lecturer might be busy with all the routine tasks, we are at the end of the semester, the second semester for these sessions. And I believe some of you might busy to preparing carry marks, giving mark for assignments and so on. But we believe that with all the support, with our setting session we have had today, this morning, and last week we have a setting session also with one of our prominent lecturers in from Faculty of Engineering with PGBL or project-based, problem-based learning. I believe that all the sessions we arrange and sessions that we are going to have in this week will certainly help us to find solutions and creative ways, as our our speaker share with us how we should be creative, and to be future ready educators we should be creative, and I believe all this will help us to solve our problem, inshallah. I believe that with all that we have done, by having all the synergy with all the school and academy, certainly will help us to strengthen or to have a better, to be a better future ready, to better a lecturer, inshallah. As our speaker enlightened us, to rise above our comfort zone. This is very important. It's also our challenge to go through to these challenges. We are in pandemic situations. We are in the very, very tough situations. So we have to face this and to go above and to move from our comfort zone. Okay, I would not touch much on that, but what I'm going to share with all our viewers in Facebook, all our lecturers in Facebook and YouTube, I will share with you what we have done for the Future Radio Educators initiative at FSSH. It all started in 2019, And since I took over this post, just continue what have been done previously. And I believe it's actually really benefits, as we have discussed just now. Dean raised about this issue, and our speaker also talked about this. We are lucky enough. It was very timely. We prepared to embark to the online learning. I think most of us remember last year, at the beginning of last year, how we embarked to the online learning. And I think we just in time to prepare about this the online learning methodology last year. All right, so what we have done so far. Before that, let me introduce what is free. I think we all know about free, but for our juniors who are just joining us last year or this year, Future Ready Educators is initiative by the university to provide support to all our lecturers in implementing learning and teaching strategies. And in our faculty, we have four main learning and teaching strategies. There is active learning, and then we have a service learning, we have problem-based learning, and we have project-based learning. These are four initiatives that we have in our faculty. A little bit about the structures of the how do we work for future radio educators at FSSH. We have Professor Dr. Yokija as our advisor, and also Associate Professor Dr. Jamaluddin Harun as our KSPP, our support group for the teaching and learning from the university. And we have our group leaders from active learning. We have three group leaders. We have Dr. Mahani, Dr. Sri Aznita in FSS KL, and we have Dr. Hadija. So all in all, we have 24 subgroup leaders that actually give a support to all members in FSSH how to implement active learning. This morning we had a very constructive discussions. How could we implement active learning, and how could we enhance the methodology of active learning? So I believe all these initiatives will definitely benefits our group members. And we have another group leaders for service learning, Mrs. Shahrin, who has under him, we have three subgroup leaders. And for problem-based learning, we have the Associate Professor Dr. Sarima, who manage three subgroup leaders. And I think this is one of the active group leaders that I think every semester they have quite a numbers of activities to support all the lecturers, to support their members, to share about the teaching approach or the teaching methodology in the class. And also we have Dr. Khair, who are the group leader for the project-based learning, and under him he has four subgroup leaders. All right, and we are very fortunate to have Dr. Nina as our secretary, that actually the person behind this all program, that to make sure that all the programs we do for the future radio educators at FSSH are successful. All right, so this is what we did last year. We have discourse on the future radio educators, and this is what we did last year. And then we repeated at least this year, and we make it a bit early this year. Last year we did in July, and this year, Alhamdulillah, we managed to make it a little bit early. And we have this free week. We have today's sessions, the discourse by our former Deputy NAP Chancellor Academic, who actually initiated this free initiative. And this morning we have roundtable sessions, and we have also sharing and support sessions by problem-based learning practice. And last week we have sessions with Prof Khairia on the topics how to transform teaching practice into article writings. That's very, very important as well, yeah, because we want whatever we're doing in this faculty, either teaching or research, it can also be transformed into something that more productive in terms of our KPI. All right, this is what we have this morning, and I follow all the sessions. Very, very constructive, very interesting session with all you, with all the moderators, with all the panels, and I mean for each teaching methods. All right. So during this free week, Future Radio Educators Week, we have these competitions, innovation in teaching and learning video competitions. I believe most of our lectures are very, very busy. They are very, very what we call that energetic to make sure that all the students benefits from the teaching, so that we want to appreciate our lecturers. So we have these competitions to encourage our lecturers to produce videos that can be shared to others, and our dean will announce who are the winners, for these competitions. Please stay tuned. The winner will be announced soon, inshallah, before we finish our today's session. All right. So these are some of the activities we have done for the last few. For this semester and the last semester. We have discussions with all group leaders, and thank you very much for your all support, for your all involvement in these activities, and I think this is a great support, and we have given our faculty's commitment to give support to our lecturers. And we have iFree newsletter, is a quarterly newsletter, is led by Dr. Mahani. And we have e-content materials. And this morning we have someone asked about all the instructions. How can we use all the technologies and so on? Yes, we have all them in Omelette. Thank you, Professor Dekan, who actually initiates this with her group to have the contents and materials in Omelette. We have workshops, webinar, discussion, and so on. This is activities done by service learning, and then project-based learning, and also problem-based learning. They are all very active. So for those who are just joining FSSH, our young lecturers, our junior lecturers, please do contact your group leaders or subgroup leaders to participate in their activities. Okay. So talking about the achievements we have done so far for the last year, our lecturers, our academics have joined this, have participated in NALI, and some of them are successful. Was successful to get award for the NALI. Okay, these are one among the winners. For the project-based learning, service learning, and we successfully back for 9 golds, 15 silvers, and 9 bronze for the NALI. Okay, and also 2 of our lecturers participate in international carnival on e-learning. Dr. Diana Farziha participates, and Dr. Hadija Jafri, who are participating in International University Carnival on e-learning. Congratulations for both of you. And some of our lecturers are features in the media, like Dr. Doria and a few others, to talk about the teachings about the learning and so on. All right, so the way forward for free at FSSH, inshallah, we were planning to compile everything we have done in the form of book writing, inshallah, and we will focus on the teaching research nexus, what we have done in the class practice could be transferred, could be translated into research as well. And we from that we can produce more papers, produce more articles to share with the larger community, especially for the educators outside UTM. All right, and then we aim to have more international engagement, and we have our Mantan have mentions about the international engagement. We will continue to expand our international engagement, and then be more creative with the current challenge. And we're planning to give more psychological support. And I think last semester we have done this under TDA of FSSH, and we were planning to have training on healthy communication, because this is a very, very important skill as well. All right. I think that's all for my sessions for the future ready educators, and I urge all our lecturers, all our educators, to continue to humanize and educating our future ready talents, to make them better prepared for the world, especially after the COVID, or after these pandemics. This is very, 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 very challenging situations. So I think that's all for our session, for my sessions. So after this, we will have a session with our Dean, and stay tuned to have our winner for these video competitions. All right, so back to you, Dr. Ana Hazika.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fauzi. Thank you for the sharing about how is actually FSSH empowering these future-ready educators. Okay, now we actually will move to the most exciting part for all educators in FSSH who actually join this competition. So this is the announcement of a winner of Innovation in Teaching and Learning video competition, free at FSSH. So I would like to invite Professor Dr. Zaidatun Tasir, our Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, to actually announce the winner. Welcome, Prof.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Dr. Ana. Okay, it's been an honor for me to announce the winner for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, the free video competitions. Okay, the first winner for the active learning categories, okay, the third place goes to Dr. Doria Abdullah, under the as a subgroup leaders for the active learning, and of course the members under Dr. Doria, we have here Associate Professor Dr. Azlina, Dr. Baharin, and Dr. Narina, Dr. Faiza, Dr. Jamila, Dr. Hadijah, and Dr. Siti Nisrin. Congratulations to Dr. Doria Abdullah and her team members. The second place, okay, we have here Ms. Nur Hazwani, Muhammad Muriza as a subgroup leaders, and the members under her group are PM Dr. Hanita Hassan, Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Rahim Salam, Dr. Aida, Dr. Nur Ain Balkis, Ms. Azura Siri, Puan Nur Huda Hashim, and Mr. Zaid Samsudin. Congratulations to Active Learning subgroup leader. The first place goes to, under the subgroup leaders of Dr. The slide. Okay, Dr. Nur Najwa Hanani binti Abdul Rahman as a subgroup leaders for active learning. The members are Professor Dr. Jumain Safar, Dr. Ahmad Mazuki bin Muhammad, Associate Professor Dr. Bushra, Dr. Nasibah, Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad bin Cik Yaakob, Dr. Nur Hidayu, Dr. Abdul Halim, and Dr. Dia Din. So congratulations for the first place of active learning, innovation in teaching and learning FSSS at free video competitions. For the project-based learning, okay, the first place winner goes to Madam Ramona Abdul Rahim as a subgroup leaders of project-based learning. The members under Madam Ramona are Dr. Q Sina, Dr. Muhammad Khair bin Nordin, Dr. Shanti Chandrans, Dr. Zuhana, Dr. Nur Airin, and Dr. Irmawati binti Nur Azman. So congratulations to all the winners. We hope that next year we will have more winners, more participants who are going to join the Innovation in Teaching and Learning free video competitions. That's all, Dr. Anna. Back to you. Congratulations to all.
Thank you so much, Prof, for the announcement, and congratulations to all winners. Okay, so before we end our session today, we would like to invite you to the next webinar about these problem-based learning practices in this Thursday, 1st July 2021 at 9 a.m. So this webinar will be shared by Associate Professor Dr. Sarima Ismail, the recipient of 2020 UTM Citra Charisma Teaching Excellence Award in Social Sciences. So see you there. Bye. Assalamualaikum.